Bonsoir tout le monde. My name is Andrew. I live in San Francisco, and I'm here visiting Paul and the Cosmic team and spending a few weeks in Paris. And I'm going to show you something I've been working on for the last 6 months or a year or so. And this is the first time I've ever shown it to more than like one person at a time. So it's definitely work in progress, kind of demo system, but should be fun to see. So previously I started an education software company called Quizlet. I worked on that for a long time, and now I'm working on this new thing that has some ironic contrast with the old thing. First I want to invite you all to look at these two images and tell me what you think, or what emotions come to mind as you look at these photos. How do you feel as you look at these two images? And feel free to shout out.
Left is better. And nostalgia.
Nostalgia? For this one?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Tools.
Tools? They're both tools? Yeah? What do you feel when what you feel in your body or your emotions as you look at that one?
Wires.
Mm.
It used to be great, but it's no longer great.
So I did this as an exercise for myself, where you sort of walk into a room and you see the objects around you, and you understand your relationship to them. And when you see this on a desk open, it sort of has this sense of possibility to me, this sense of like, I could think and work there. And I could also do that on here, but my emotions are more mixed. They're like, I can do all this great work, I can talk to my friends, I can browse the internet, but it's just a sort of place of distraction, and like I might get sucked into there, and my time might go away. And so I want to, with that as a sort of provocation, I want to show you this prototype of a paper computer operating system that I've built. So the problem is that computers are an engine of distraction. It is hard to think deeply with a computer. It might have been easier at one point, but I think with the way they're built now, it's actually quite difficult to have deep, serious thoughts using a computer. And this is obviously something that the previous talks are interested in, and lots of people I think are interested in with computers right now. So, but if you look at the basic operating system on the Mac, on the phone, they're designed for multitasking. There's literally, I can go like this, and there's like a window behind here, and there's like other windows, and there might be notifications, and it's literally designed for that. And it's adversarial. There are a lot of software engineers and designers and companies that are building their software to distract you or to tell you their thoughts rather than help you think your own original thoughts, and or to show you ads or whatever. And so when you have the computers designed this way, it's no wonder that they're sort of engines for distraction. So my belief is that this is not an app problem. You can't solve this problem with just an app. It's that you need to actually work at lower layers deeper, which are the hardware and the operating system level. So if I just built an app on this computer here to manage my screen time, it might make some incremental progress, but it won't sort of change my fundamental relationship to my computer. And so that's the sort of interest I have in this. So now I'm going to show you what I've been building. Unfortunately, I have this little device here that I've built, and unfortunately I couldn't get it working on the Wi-Fi here, but I will show you something that basically works the same way. But just to show you how this works, this is a little device with a battery and a camera inside and a Wi-Fi chip, and I can take this little menu of actions I could take, and when I want to do one, I press the little button, and it scans the QR code and sends it to my computer and takes some action. So I'm going to show you a few of the things that this thing can do. And so I have a bunch of different applications basically that I've built. So let's see if this works. So I've got, instead of this menu, I've got them all printed on one at a time on a big sheet of paper. And if I put it in here, this one says morning worksheet. I didn't press any buttons, it just sucked it in automatically here. And it's going to think about it for a second. And now the printer is starting up. And the one I've printed here is a morning worksheet. So this prints every morning for me, and it shows my calendar for the day, and then it gives me the sort of habits I want to work on and gives me space to write. So you can see I have the Future of Coding event on my calendar here. I can log my mood and write some to-dos for the day. And so before I even touch a computer, before I sort of log on to Twitter or the internet, start looking at other people's ideas, I can write with a piece of paper here. And then I can also scan this back in, and it goes into my notes. So the next one I have, blank note. I can show you how this one works.
Basically sending fax to yourself.
Yeah, it's like a fax machine. So now I have this specially printed note sheet. It just has the word subject up here, so I will print these out if I have a call that I'm doing. And I write my notes, and then I scan it back in. So I'll just write computer talk as the subject. And I'll write here is my demo. So you can see that's just what I wrote on my notes. If I put it in here, if all goes according to plan, my notes will show up in my logseq right there. So they've just been OCR'd and scanned into the computer. All right, so now it has a basic sort of note-taking system. That's nice. Wouldn't you like to have also an email client in your operating system? So this one will print a random message from my inbox. I also have it set up so that it prints all my email every morning. So this has just taken a random email from my inbox and is printing it out. I hope it's something that I can show you. All right, let's see. Yes, okay, so this was a message from my French teacher inviting me to dinner. So it has her message on here, and then it has a spot for me to write my reply. I can check the archive box if I want it to be out of my inbox, and I can also check the hide vibes button, which will OCR and send the text. By default, it'll send the image of my handwriting, which I found as I was testing this, people really enjoy and are very surprised by receiving a handwritten message. And so I just decided to send the handwritten message itself. Of course, I also OCR it and put that as the alt text in the image so people can search it in their inbox and it still shows. So I'm not going to reply to that one right now, but I do have a compose sheet, so I can show you that one. So this is a compose email sheet, and I'm going to write bonjour, and I will send it to myself. And I will write, wow, amazing paper. So I just wrote it like this. And now if I scan it in here, I will open my inbox on my phone. And I now have the email in my inbox here showing up. So you can see it scanned it in, cropped just the part that I wanted. Those are some of the things. A couple more things I want to show. Okay, this is an observation I have is that when I read like an academic paper or anything, a blog post, when I read it on paper, I think about it more deeply, I understand it more deeply than when I'm sort of on a screen and I'm scrolling. And when you're scrolling, you're often sort of scanning, summarizing, you're not really like chewing on the material. And so I built a thing to integrate my system with any PDF. So this is printing an old academic paper, funnily enough, about a digital desk, which is a similar concept to this from the early 90s. And what it does, it prints the paper on one side and my notes on the other. And I can circle stuff anywhere, or I can write notes along here, and it will sort of save the image into my note system, and it will like also just write OCR any of my notes from this side. So this is sort of the newest thing I've been working on, but it's a way to read and think more deeply than I can do with just reading a PDF on my phone or on the computer. Okay, so I have one more, which is my previous company was an education software company, and I've been thinking a lot about the potential educational implications for doing something like this. Obviously, classrooms use a lot of paper, and although they've been switching a lot to edtech tools, but I think a lot of parents and a lot of teachers don't want their kids in front of screens all day at school. And so I have here, this is an example, this is a person's name, and the idea would be that a child would maybe have a lanyard around their neck or in their pocket, or maybe there would be some other way that they might identify themselves, but they could do it like this, where they scan in their name and it prints for them a customized worksheet or a customized exam that has, I don't need to show that. It prints for them the questions that are sort of adapted to them. So a lot of the edtech tools, the advantage that a lot of people think they have is that they can just ask the questions that are most relevant to that kid, and some kids may be more advanced than others or moving at a different pace. And so you can basically do the same thing with this, where you identify yourself, you print a custom worksheet or a custom exam, and so now, now I've got this math exam here. I'm going to type in a few answers. So this one says, this is a third grade math exam. So it says rewrite 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 is a multiplication problem. I'm going to write 6 times 7. It says compute 5 times 15 times 8 times 2. That's 1,200. And I'll put in a few more answers. And so now I have this exam, which has basically not been modified from the original PDF I got. And if I put this in here, you can imagine the kid like turning in their worksheet in the classroom. Okay, yeah. So here it's given me a 75%. It's seeing the answers I wrote. It shows me that I got one of them wrong, shows me the correct answer, and you can imagine that it now gives you more problems based on what it saw here. So it has the sort of advantages of a digital math tool, but the sort of quiet and calmness of paper. So that's sort of what I'm going for with all this. A paper computer has the quietude of paper. You're not distracted. There aren't other windows behind you. But it also has the magic of computers. It lets you do adaptive things. It lets you send emails. It lets you take notes and stuff like that and have it all be part of your digital system, but it's still paper. So that's my demo. I'd love any questions or feedback. This is obviously early sort of prototype, but it's something that's been fun to work on.
How do you solve search? Like when you have a lot of paper that has like come out of the printer and obviously it's in the physical world.
Yeah.
How do you then organize it? Is it through the computer? How do you see the kind of the link between what exists in the physical reality and what exists in the virtual world?
Yeah. I've been experimenting with different ways to do that. I think what I often do is the computer is like where the sort of source of truth is, and it has all of the sort of filing capabilities and stuff like that. And the paper is just the sort of current workspace. So I'll often, like once I'm done with my notes, I'll just shred them or recycle them. And maybe for some things I'll save them or put them on the wall or something like that. But for a lot of things, I'll just shred them.
Have you ever thought of using the magic papers?
Like e-ink or?
No, the ones where you write and you can scroll up, erase everything.
Like the thing that you had as a kid?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, like a
magic slate, you know?
Oh, yeah.
You can eventually tag one of your applications and scan it when you erase it.
Yeah, I think I haven't played with that. There are, it's quite possible that sort of the final version should not actually be physical paper, but it should have the sort of properties that I like about paper. Though it is really nice to have, like if you like for my email, I just have a stack of papers, and I can go to the coffee shop and not bring my phone and just go one by one, and I can just flip through them and see them all. So yeah, but it's worth the sort of medium, the materiality, the space. Like I can be like, okay, I'm done with these, and I want to think more about these. Like you can do a lot of things with paper and pen that are hard to do on this tiny little rectangle here, but there also are trade-offs. So.
And what happens if you cut and then if you cut and paste in real life? Can you recombine them?
Well, right now the way this works is every page has a QR code that sort of identifies what kind of thing it is. So the note, it's like, this is a blank note. So when you receive this, you know where to put it. So right now it's not sort of generic enough to recognize anything, but you can imagine if it's something I want to really get into, that it could become powerful like that. Cool. All right, thank you.